My name is Zach Arnold. I'm a Hollywood film and television editor, a documentary director, father of two, an American Ninja Warrior in training, and the creator of Optimize Yourself. For over 10 years now, I have obsessively searched for every possible way to optimize my own creative and athletic performance, and now I'm here to shorten your learning curve. Whether you're a creative professional who edits, writes, or directs, you're an entrepreneur, or even if you're a weekend warrior, I strongly believe that you can be successful without sacrificing your health or your sanity in the process. You ready? Let's design the optimized version of you. Hello and welcome to the Optimize Yourself podcast. If you're a brand new optimizer, I welcome you and I sincerely hope that you enjoy today's conversation. If you are inspired to take action after listening today, why not tell a friend about this show and help spread the love? And if you're a longtime listener and Optimizer OG, welcome back. Whether you're brand new or you're a seasoned vet, if you have just 10 seconds today, it would mean the world to me if you clicked the subscribe button in your podcast app of choice. Because the more people that subscribe, the more that iTunes and the other platforms can recognize this show, and thus the more people that you and I can inspire to step outside their comfort zones to reach their greatest potential. And now on to today's show, which, to be honest, is going to be a bit of an experiment. As a long-time listener, you already know how much I love to do in-depth interviews on a variety of topics, whether that's allowing everyday people to share their personal and their inspirational journeys, or industry experts and world-renowned authors who share their expertise to help you optimize a specific area of your life. But today, what I want to do instead is give you an insider's glimpse into the world of my Optimizer coaching and mentorship program and what we call the hot seat. What you're going to hear today is a recording of an actual live session with an Optimizer student where on the hot seat, we tackle various questions, whether that's about career transitions, productivity, workflows, networking, burnout, habit formation, resumes and websites, and any other number of work-life challenges that students bring to the table as they navigate their own paths toward success. In the following hot seat session, community member Lando Cortes wants to know how to overcome feeling so crappy from being sedentary all day long. He's currently juggling 3 part-time jobs that leave him chained to his computer for long hours, and to be honest, it's really taking a toll on his body and also on his mind. He consistently experiences neck and back pain, and he wants to improve his energy levels while also reducing the stress on his body. Listen in as I walk him through some simple steps that he can take to build the habit of more consistent movement while still living behind his computer. Strategies that you too can incorporate into your busy and sedentary workday. If you find these sessions valuable, we're going to be sharing Hot Seat Fridays with you every week that are going to be jam-packed with practical, real-world strategies that you can easily apply to your own lifestyle and career to send you off with an action plan for the next Monday ahead. And if after listening to this, you're wishing that you could schedule your own hot seat session, I invite you to join our community of optimizers, where you're going to find all the support and connections you need to optimize every aspect of your life. Just go to optimizeyourself.me/optimizer to learn more about the various coaching and mentorship options available so you and I can start working together today. All right, without further ado, here is today's Hot Seat Friday conversation with Lando Cortes, made possible today by our amazing sponsors Evercast and ErgoDriven, who are going to be featured just a bit later in today's episode. And as a quick reminder, to subscribe so you don't miss the next interview just like this one, please visit optimizeyourself.me/podcast. So Lando, good morning, sir.
How are you guys? How are you, Zach?
I'm great. Thank you so much. So let everybody know what your hot seat topic is for this morning.
Well, as I told you, I still have no doubts about the program. I'm running through it, but I would like to get some advice on how can I boost my energy levels throughout the day. And also I'm juggling 3 part-time jobs, 3 of them on the computer all day. So my back is killing me, my neck is killing me, and I know you're the expert. So I just want to get better physically and have more energy throughout the day.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I've lived that way for many years. So to dispel any myths or rumors, I will make one correction. I am not the expert. I hate the term expert. I hate the term guru. I hate all of it. The only difference is that I am incredibly obsessive about getting things right when I need to fix them. And this is a problem that I have been working every single day to fix since about 2005. So, but I want to dispel the myth or the rumor that it means I'm for some reason an expert. But what I can do is I can share my own experiences and the things that I've done. So basically, to clarify, what we need to do for you is build a little bit more of an active movement routine throughout your day. It just seems like being sedentary because you're going from one job to the next, but literally, you really only work one job. You're in one spot all day long. You might have different bosses, but you're really only doing one thing. And it just sounds like it's causing some lethargy, lack of energy, and most importantly, it's causing acute physical pain. Is all of that accurate?
Yeah, it is.
All right, so I would say that where we're working towards, and this is not where we're going to start, but where we're working towards is either building in some form of exercise routine for you, or at the very minimum, a movement routine. So what I mean by that is building the habit of making sure that you are getting up, getting away from your desk at regular intervals, and doing actual movement. So right now, if we're talking about baseline assessment, let's just say that this were the first time you and I ever talked and you're just starting the program. In the baseline assessment, I talk about movement versus exercise. How do you rate yourself as far as movement throughout your day right now on a scale from 1 to 10, and why?
I would say it's between a 6 and a 7. I stay on the computer most of the day, but I have a dog and I go out 2 or 3 times every day, and I live on a 3rd floor and it's all stairs. There's no lift. So I get more movement than the regular computer guy. But I have bad posture habits or I don't know what, or I'm not exercising enough. So even though I get my movement, I walk a lot, I still get the sore back.
Okay, so do you track your movement? Could you actually quantify and say, I know I get X number of steps per day, burn X number of calories? Do you know that number?
No, I can tell you I walk around 10, 15 blocks each time I go out, and that's the 3 flights of stairs, and that's all I can tell you. I'm not tracking my movement.
And what I don't want to do is force you into a place where you have to spend any money on anything. The only reason I bring up this part of the conversation is oftentimes people will say, oh yeah, no, I move around quite a bit. And then they track it for a week and they're like, oh my God, I had no idea how little I was moving. It's the same thing if you had said, I feel like I'm eating healthy. I don't feel like I'm overeating. And then you track calories and you're horrified at how much you're actually eating. It's very common for us to either over or underestimate what that number might be. But for now, let's assume that you're moving at a decent pace and consistently throughout the day because of the combination of the dog and the stairs. So it doesn't sound like you're just stuck in one spot and you're getting 1,000 steps per day. So that's a good place to start. But the next area that I want to talk about that you alluded to that I think is so important is posture. Because if you're talking about the fact that you're getting a neck pain and shoulder pain, and I'm assuming it's up here like in the traps, like this area?
Yeah, in the...
This is the trapezius muscles, the upper traps. If you get back here, those are in the rhomboids, in the middle of your but basically your shoulders and your upper back. That would be the common term. So what I can already tell based on the way that you sit at these calls and based on the picture that you showed me, you're at a laptop, correct?
Yeah.
So one of the biggest reasons you're probably having the issue with the neck muscles and the upper shoulder muscles is because your head, if I'm going to go profile, is doing this. Would you say that when you're looking at your monitor, if you had a laser coming out of the bridge of your nose, tell me the space between the bridge of your nose and the top third of your computer monitor. How much space is there?
Would be not much space. I mean, my eye level is at the top of the monitor, more or less.
Okay, so your eye level is at the top of the monitor.
Yeah.
So if you're looking straight, your monitor is going to be about here.
Yeah.
So that's close. Based on the picture that you sent me, it looked like your monitor was down lower. The way that you want it to work is if you're thinking about your head again, I want you to think about a bowling ball sitting on top of your neck, because that's what it is. It weighs about the same amount as a bowling ball. If you change the angle even this much, now the weight is going down, and guess what's supporting it? It's all these muscles up here. But if my alignment is straight, my entire spine and my whole body are supporting that bowling ball.
Okay.
So you want to think in whatever position I'm in, am I doing this and this in order to look at my monitor? The more that you're doing this, like you can pull a string and it's aligned with your spine and your shoulders are doing this and open instead of that, those are the posture changes that are going to start to alleviate some of that.
I'm a little like
we all are. We all are. That's been my eternal struggle with all the ninja training that I'm doing, is any stretch or mobility exercise that does this, it's not a pretty sight to watch me trying to work through that stuff, because it's been 20 years of this. So trying to get to this point has been very difficult for me. So what we need to do is make some minor adjustments to your ergonomic setup to make sure that when you're looking at your monitor, like right now, if I were to draw the laser line from here, it goes to exactly the top third of my monitor. So if you're a photographer, you know the thirds of monitors where top third, middle third, bottom third. You want your eyes to hit that top third line. So when I stand at my computer, even though I'm here all day long, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing this. I'm able to be like this. When I sit down, it's a little bit more challenging, but the chair that I have doesn't allow me to even sit because it doesn't have a back. I have something that's called a sit tight. I don't know if you've seen a picture of that on the website at all, but basically imagine, do you know what a Bosu ball is? Where it's basically like a platform that has the bubble under it? Imagine putting a bar stool on top of that. That's what my desk chair is. So I'm balancing all day. So sometimes I find myself slumped over a little bit if I get tired, but I'm never in the position where I'm just sitting static at my desk and doing this. And this and that are what are causing the neck and the back pain.
Okay.
So if we can find a way to get your monitor up a little bit more, that's going to be one thing that's going to help. And I think the second thing that's going to help is we need to start building the routine that at least 1 to 2 times per day, every day, you take a 3 to 5 minute break and you do some very, very simple stretches and corrective exercises to get you here and get you here instead of here.
Okay.
And here's the really good news. But wait, there's more. I have all of these corrective exercises, and you have them already too. They're in the Move Yourself Activity Video Vault. So I have, if you go into the Move Yourself course, if you go into Module 3, I don't remember exactly which lesson it is. I think it's second or the third one maybe. I do a walkthrough of the ergonomics and the geometry of the way you should be at your desk, whether sitting or standing, and where your eyes should be on your monitor, just so you have, it's a better visual than me trying to do it ad hoc here on this call.
Okay.
But then I also have individual corrective exercises and stretches to help counteract everything that's going on with these muscles. So have you gone into the vault before?
Yes, actually the other day I was looking for the upper back treatment, and I was doing that. I showed you a picture of the kit I have. So I bought some of them because of you. So
the other thing I highly suggest that you get, and I highly suggest this so much, by the way, I didn't plan this. I have this right here hanging on my microphone. One of the best stretches to open this up, you might not be able to hear me because I'm going to stand back a little bit, but I do this. I take the band like this, and I just stretch it. And if you haven't done this for a while and you're at a computer, you're going to be like, oh my God, right? Just to open up your chest. But as you start to do that more, you do this just 10 or 15 times, you're going to be like, whoa, oh my God, like, my neck can move again. So this is one of my favorite stretches for this issue. I have one of these in my edit bay sitting next to my couch. I watch footage. I'll just be watching dailies doing this, and that counteracts all of this.
All right.
My sincerest apologies for the interruption in the middle of this interview, but if you are a content creator or you work in the entertainment industry, not only is the following promo not an interruption, but listening has the potential to change your life, because collaborating with Evercast is that powerful. Here's a brief excerpt from a recent interview that I did with Evercast co-founders Brad Thomas and award-winning editor Roger Barton.
Living this lifestyle of a feature film editor has really had an impact on me. So I was really looking for something to push back against all of these lifestyle infringements that are imposed on us, both by schedules and expectations. When you guys demoed Evercast for me that first time, my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, oh my God, this is what I have been waiting for a decade.
I also had the same reaction when I first saw Evercast. 2 words came to mind: game changer.
Our goal, honestly, is to become the Zoom for creatives, whatever it is you're streaming, whether it's editorial, visual effects, Pro Tools for music composition, live shot cameras. It's consistent audio and video, lip sync always stays in sync. think whether you're in a live session where you're getting that feedback immediately, or you can't get it immediately, so you record the session and you can share those clips with people on the production team where there's no room for any confusion. It's like, this is exactly what the director wants. This is exactly what the producer wants.
What matters most to me is it makes the entire process more efficient, which then translates to us as creatives who spend way too much time in front of computers. We get to shut it down and we get to go spend time with our friends and family.
The biggest complaint, and I'm sure you guys have heard this many, many times, this looks amazing, I just can't afford it.
Tesla had to release the Model S before they released the Model 3. So by the end of the year, we are going to be releasing a sub $200 version a month of Evercast for the freelancer and indie creatives. Anyone who is a professional video creator outside of Hollywood.
I think what we've learned over the last few months is that this technology can translate to better lives for all of us that give us more flexibility and control while still maintaining the creativity, the creative momentum, and the quality of work.
I cannot stress this enough. Evercast is changing the way that we collaborate. If you value your craft, your well-being, and spending quality time with the ones you love, Evercast now makes that possible for you and me. To listen to the full interview and learn about the amazing potential that Evercast has to change the way that you work and live, visit optimizeyourself.me/Evercast. Now back to today's interview. Information's great. Routines and consistency are so much better. So you have access to all the information. Where can we start to make this stick? What's the first easy win that we can build so we can start to stack all these little actions and turn them into habits?
You're asking me?
I am asking you, indeed. You're on the hot seat. Of course I'm asking you.
Okay. Sorry, it's the first time. Well, I have to go out because I go out with my dog. So I would say that's a good point. And also I'm now working with the focus sessions. So I focus for like an hour and a half, and then I take a break. And that I think would be another good point to do the stretch exercises.
I agree. I think these are great places to start. I want to get even more specific. I like to just get to the tiniest granular level to figure out where do I want to insert a new behavior. So let's say, for example, that it's just going to be what I showed you. And this is going to be hypothetical. You can replace this with whatever makes sense for you, the tools you have, the exercise you want to do. But hypothetically, let's say that I'm committing to 15 reps of this 3 times per day. The way that I'm going to engineer this is I'm going to think something along the lines of, as soon as I get back from my walk, as soon as I sit down at my desk, before I start working, I'm going to do 15 reps. And then before I log on to my focus session, I'm going to do another 15 reps. I want it to be that laser sharp specific, not just, I'll do it around the time that I walk. But then you did the walk, like, I should have done it before, but I got to check this email, so now I can't. I want to be laser sharp specific. Where am I going to insert these 15 reps 2 to 3 times a day?
Okay, so 2 of them would be when I wake up, I take a bath, then I go out with the dog, then I come back home and I'll do the reps. Same thing at the end of the day when I do the last walk. And the middle walk, it doesn't happen every day. So I can do it between sessions, or I could have a specific time.
What I want to identify is a trigger. Did you go through module 2 of Focus Yourself, where it talked about the cue, the routine, the reward, helping your craving?
And I've read the book.
Excellent. So what I'm trying to do is figure out what's the ringing bell to turn you into Pavlov's dog, where you get to the point where whatever your exercise is, but in the hypothetical scenario, you're just doing this and you're like, wait, when did I grab the band? When did this happen? I don't even want you to think about it. Like, I don't have to think to myself anymore. You know what? I should probably move my desk up right now. I've been sitting too long. Or I should move my desk down. I don't even think. I just find myself moving my desk up and down. It's just rote habit at this point. So I'm never stuck in the same place. But we have to develop the trigger so we can then have the routine, then get the reward and start the habit loop. So what's a very specific trigger if it's not going to be walking your dog?
So I'm trying to work on focus periods of time. So by the time I finish my second one, I'm around the middle of the day. And that could be the time I do the stretching. Okay,
so now we've got something really specific. When I finish my second focus session, And what do you use to trigger the end of it? Do you use the call in the group in the focus gym? Do you use an alarm? Like what actually tells you, oh, I'm done and I can take a break?
Yeah, when I'm able to join the group, because sometimes I have random calls and I don't want to get in the middle of anyone's session, but I'll set the calendar and I'll work from, 1 to 3:30 or 2:30. And that's when I finish. I know my time's up. The rest of the day, I use a time tracking app, which is Toggle. So I can set the time there, and I know when my block finished.
Got it. Okay, and I'm very familiar with Toggle. I use that for a long time. That's definitely a great time tracking program. So we're on the same page there. So now I want to think one layer further. We're going to take the focus session, and at the end of the focus session, that's going to be the trigger to do whatever the routine is, right? So in this example, for me, it would be doing the stretching, whatever it is for you based on the exercises in the video vault. Now what happens if in the middle of your focus session, you're like, oh crap, I got to get on a call. I have to end my focus session early. Now what happens to that routine?
I'll do it at the end of the call.
Are you sure about that? You feel confident that you will?
What choice do I have?
What if you did it at the beginning of your focus session?
Okay, I see.
When you know that you're going to be undistracted. So what happens is instead of sitting at your computer, getting all sluggish for an hour, hour and a half, saying, I'm just about there, just about to get to my stretches. Oh crap, I got to get on a call. Well, can't do it this time. Oh, shucks. Instead, you say, I'm going to energize my brain for the focus session, which becomes the reward. The routine is doing the stretches as soon as you sit down, knowing you are never going to be distracted because you're just starting your session. Okay. So you see it as a way to energize the session as opposed to finish it. And I'm not saying that finishing it with that is bad. It's great to do the stretches after, but based on your circumstances, if you find that routinely you're interrupted because you have to jump on a last minute call, that is probably going to sabotage you building this into a habit.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So then the last step of all of this is, what do we do with the equipment to make sure that the excuse isn't, oh, I was supposed to do this, but it's in the closet and it's buried and it's over there. How do we keep it right there? So we know that this is the first just easy win. This is going to be the thing. I'm seeing it. It's staring at me right there. I have no choice but to just do it the way that I have this within arm's reach.
Well, I showed you the picture of my workspace. And right here, there's I don't know how you call it in English. We call it fiaca in Spanish, but that's been there for, a year, and nobody uses it. So I'll toss it around and put there the equipment for the stretches.
Got it. Okay, and then how about if you're going to use the video vault? How do we keep that right at your fingertips?
It's already on my bookmarks.
It's on your bookmarks. So all you have to do is click the bookmark and you're there.
Yeah, I bookmarked the routine of the back pain relief. So I just click and it's there. And
Got it.
I'll do
okay.
the same. I'll figure out, or you can tell me which exercise you suggest, and I'll make sure they're at the click of a button.
I love it. As we talked about in Module 2, one of the best ways to form a new habit is to either make it easier or make it harder if it's a bad habit. And we're making this as easy as possible. We're eliminating all of the friction and the excuses. So the very last thing is, when you do your routine, I want you to send us a note in the accountability channel, because now we're expecting you to do this. You and I haven't gone too deep into your tendencies, and we don't have time to do that today. But I know no matter the tendency, accountability to an external group almost never hurts, unless of course you're a rebel and then you're like, F that, I don't do accountability groups. And Asaf's like, yeah, right, you're never going to see me in there.
No, it's focus sessions have been great. And I tell you I've been able to, when I can't go into the focus sessions, I'm able to do it myself because of the habit. So
that's what I love to hear. That's the whole point.
I'm all in for accountability.
That's awesome. Great. So then, do you feel good about your next steps?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Terrific. Well, if you have any other questions, just follow up in the group or send me a message and let us know how it's going in the accountability channel.
I will. Thank you very much.
All right. This was fun. See, it was painless, right? Not so bad. Before closing up today's show, I would love to ask for just a couple additional minutes of your time and attention to introduce you to one of my new favorite products created by my good friend Kit Perkins, who you may recognize as creator of the Topomat. Here is a brief excerpt from a recent interview that I did with Ergo-Driven co-founder and CEO Kit Perkins, talking about his latest product, New Standard Whole Protein.
I'm into health and fitness generally, but I want it to be simple and straightforward. About a year and a half ago, I started adding collagen into my protein shakes. And man, the benefits were like more dramatic than any supplement I've ever seen. So I thought, if I could just get this down to coming out of one jar and it's ingredients that I know I can trust, and you just put it in water and you don't have to think about it.
When people think of protein powders, they think, well, I don't want to get big and bulky, and that's not what this is about. To me, this is about repair.
So a big part of what we're talking about here is you are what you eat. Your body's constantly repairing and rebuilding, and the only stuff it can use to repair and rebuild is what you've been eating. Unfortunately, as the years have gone by, every day getting out of bed, it's like, 2 or 3 creaks and pops in the first couple steps. And that I thought you just sort of lived with now. But yeah, once starting the collagen daily or near daily, it's just gone. So for us, job 1A here was make sure it's high quality, and that's grass-fed, 100% pasture-raised cows. And then the second thing, if you're actually going to do it every day, it needs to be simple. It needs to taste good.
Well, my goal is that for anybody that is a creative professional like myself that's stuck in front of a computer, number one, they're doing it standing on a topo mat. Number two, they've got a glass of New Standard protein next to them so they can just fuel their body, fuel their brain. So you and I, my friend, one edit station at a time are going to change the world.
And even better for your listeners, with code OPTIMIZE on either a one-time purchase or that first subscribe and save order, 50% off. So if you do that subscribe and save, that's 20% off and 50% off with code OPTIMIZE. That's a fantastic deal.
If you're looking for a simple and affordable way to stay energetic, focused, and alleviate the chronic aches and pains that come from living at your computer, I recommend New Standard Whole Protein because it's sourced from high-quality ingredients that I trust, and it tastes great. To place your first order, visit optimizeyourself.me/newstandard and use the code OPTIMIZE for 50% off your first order. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Hot Seat Fridays. If you find this new format valuable, please reach out and let us know. Just go to optimizeyourself.me/contact to leave your honest feedback. And if after listening, you are wishing that you could schedule your own hot seat session, I invite you to join our community of optimizers, where you are going to find all of the support and connections you need to optimize every aspect of your life. Just go to optimizeyourself.me/optimizer to learn more about the various coaching and mentorship options available so you and I can start working together. And as a quick reminder to subscribe so you don't miss future interviews just like this one, please visit optimizeyourself.me/podcast. And a special thanks to our sponsors Evercast and ErgoDriven for making today's interview possible. To learn more about how to collaborate remotely without missing a frame and to get your real-time demo of Evercast in action, visit optimizeyourself.me/Evercast. And to learn more about ErgoDriven and their brand new product that I am super excited about, New Standard Whole Protein, visit optimizeyourself.me/newstandard. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, healthy, and sane, and be well.